And we'll recite the Sanskrit together. Shri Shuka Vacha Iti Te Shvelitastasya Ashvashta Manaso Suraha Yahashur Bhava Gambiram Sadhus Chamrita Bhajanam Shri Shuka Vacha Iti Te Shvelitastasya Ashvashta Manaso Suraha Jahashur Bhava Gambiram Dadus Chamrita Bhajanam. Please chant. Now we can do the word meanings together. Shri Shuka Vacha. We'll do it together. Shri Shukadev Goswami said, Iti, thus, te, those demons, Shvelayata, by speaking as if jokingly, Tashaha, of Mohini Murti, Ashvashta, grateful with faith, Manasaha, their minds, Asuraha, all the demons, Jahashu, laughed. Although Mohini Murti was full of gravity, Dadu, delivered, Cha, also, Amritabhajanam, the container of nectar. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued, after the demons heard the words of Mohini Murti, who had spoken as if jokingly, they were all very confident. They laughed with gravity, and ultimately they delivered the container of nectar into her hands. Purport. The personality of Godhead in his form of Mohini was certainly not joking, but talking seriously with gravity. The demons, however, being captivated by Mohini Murti's bodily features, took her words as a joke and confidently delivered the container of nectar into her hands. Thus Mohini Murti resembles Lord Buddha, who appeared Samohaya Sudadvisham, to cheat the asuras. The word Suradvisham refers to those who are envious of the demigods or devotees. Sometimes an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead cheats the atheists. Thus we see here that although Mohini Murti was speaking factually to the Asuras took her words to be facetious. Indeed, they were so confident of Mohini Murti's honesty that they immediately delivered the container of nectar into her hands, as if they would allow her to do with the nectar whatever she liked, whether she distributed it, threw it away, or drank it herself without giving it to them. Now we can do the Mangala Charana together also. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here we're reading from the 8th canto. Yeah, that's right. I got 3 books open. I got confused. Chapter 9, titled The Lord Incarnates as Mohini Murti. So I wanted to read another purport real fast from text 18. Prabhupada says, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur remarks here that Mohini Murti is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in a feminine form, and that the goddess of fortune is her associate. This form assumed by the personality of Godhead challenged the goddess of fortune. The goddess of fortune is beautiful, but if the Lord accepts the form of a woman, he surpasses the goddess of fortune in beauty. It is not that the goddess of fortune, being female, is the most beautiful. The Lord is so beautiful that he can excel any beautiful goddess of fortune by assuming a female form. So we'll try to talk about the beauty of Krishna in today's class. So sometimes they call the material energy Madan, right? Or Cupid. That we're allured or attracted by the beauty of the external energy. But then there's Madan Mohan, right? As a name for Krishna, that one who attracts the attractiveness of material nature, or those that are attracted to the material energy. Krishna can attract us because he's the source. Just like it says that in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I'm the source of all spiritual and material worlds, that everything emanates from me. And the wise who perfectly know this, they engage in my devotional service with all their hearts. And in the Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says that all this opulences or all this beauty, all this attractive energy is just a spark of my splendor, right? But we see that all of us are here because of a spark. We're attracted and enamored, covered, and what's those two potencies of Maya? You know the Sanskrit? Avirnatmika. Nice try. The throwing and the covering potencies. Okay, Avirnatmika and Prat. What he said. So by that energy of Krishna, all of us are infatuated. We're in love with the temporary, material, glittering our bodies, our families' bodies, any material object that has any shine to it, gold, jewels. We're fascinated. Why? Because it comes from Krishna and it has Krishna's Shakti. It's like here in that purport that I read, that if Krishna wants to become beautiful, he can become more beautiful than the goddess of fortune, who's the most beautiful. Just like it's explained that we're attracted by the opposite sex in this material reality, on this material plane, but the beauty that we're attracted to is nothing compared to the heavenly beauty, right? And the heavenly beauty is nothing compared to the spiritual beauty, or the Lakshmis, the goddesses of fortune, whose beauty is for Krishna's pleasure. It's explained just like there's an eternal competition of who can give pleasure to the beloved in the relationship of the devotee and Krishna. And that the beauty of the goddesses of fortune itself is service to please Krishna. And when Krishna becomes pleased by seeing the beauty of his devotees, by seeing their devotional service, he smiles. And when the devotees see Krishna's smile, they become more beautiful. They want to give more in reciprocation, and that giving is their own beauty. So, material life means that we've rejected or we've turned our face away. Where's the mic? You'll be my Sanskrit shloka man, okay? Bahirmukha. We've turned away from Krishna. Bengali, please.
Krishna Bahirmukha Haya Bhoga Vanchakari Nikata Samayatari Jhapati Adari.
Okay, and slower next time.
Okay.
That's nice. So because we've decided to turn away from the beauty of Krishna, we've Bahirmukha, we've turned our face. Mukha means face, right? We've turned our face away from Krishna. This is like looking, well, in this temple you can't turn away from Krishna because Krishna's on the altar. You turn your face away, Krishna's on this painting, this wall, this direction. Krishna's everywhere. So what does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita or one of these books? For one who sees me everywhere, Sanskrit please, and sees everything in me, I am never lost to him, nor he lost to me. If others know it too, they can chant. Is that Bhagavad Gita or Isha? What is that? Who knows it in Sanskrit? Oh, okay. So this is, for one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost to him, nor is he lost to me. So in one sense, we can't not be Krishna conscious. What we're doing now is we're trying with all of our minute independence to be distracted or disattracted, to turn our face away from Krishna. But intrinsically, eternally, what is the nature of the soul? Krishna prema nitya siddha. That's right. That we're all the eternal situation of every living entity, everything that has life has intrinsically pure, unmotivated, loving attraction, loving devotional energy, service towards Krishna. And this just has to be revived, right? It's not a thing that we gain. Prabhupada says it's not a thing to be gained from an outside source. That Krishna consciousness is a revival of our original, dormant, loving, devotional service. That in that verse says, Krishna prema nitya siddha. Say it nicely, slowly.
Nitya siddhe Krishna prema satya kabunai shravanadi shuddha chitte koro eudai.
Shravanadi, by hearing. This is what we're doing now. We're hearing, and it's being revived. It's like Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam, that we can't see the beauty of Krishna because of the dust on our consciousness, because of the distraction, because we're thinking that there's ultimate beauty in the temporary. So we can't see. But what has to be done is just to hear. Just like Prabhupada is asked, chant and be happy. And sometimes he would say that, even in the bhajans by the acharyas, it says that this process is easily performed. It's just recreation. And then the managers of the movement, they're, being pushed by Prabhupada to do so many things to push on this hearing and chanting for others. They said, no, but Prabhupada, there's so much, you're pushing us, you're tasking us with this, with that, with the disciplines and this. It's hard. And Prabhupada said, no, just kevala anandakanda, simply joyful. That we're coming, and what is Prabhupada asking us to do? To chant and dance. And if you're tired, take some prasadam. And then make the opportunity for others. To the best of our ability, we come together and we create opportunities for as many people as possible to hear and chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when Krishna wants to attract us, he can take, it's up to him. He's supremely independent. We're doing all of our different devotional activities to reawaken that attraction and to turn our face to reality, to see Krishna everywhere and see. It's not that we deny the beauty. We're not Mayavadis. We don't deny that the material world exists. We don't say neti, it's not this, it's not that. We say it is Krishna, but this is Krishna's external energy. And we see through the eyes of Shastra, Jnana Chakshus, right? We're having prasad with these nice brahmacharis, and we have a plug here. When they visit, we want everybody to feed them, mainly with love and devotion and prasadam. But we were talking, and Prabhuji said, "What's your favorite purport?" That's a big question, right? First, he asked a lot of questions. Well, when you did this, why did you do this? How did you do that? But how many times have you read Prabhupada's books? I was like, oh, who's asking? No, it's teasing. No, I was just teasing. But so Prabhupada's purports are his devotional ecstasies, right? What a blessing to be in contact. Prabhupada says, if you want to know me, I am more in read my books. I am more in my books than I am in my person. Ye reasons ill who say that Vaishnavas die. Well, Vaishnavas die to live. The Vaishnavas are living in sound. This is written sound. Prabhupada is giving himself to us through his, not just his self, his highest ecstasies. That's very intimate. You like, we were talking the other day, he said, I feel like you've let me into your heart. Right? That's what devotees, it's all about. What is Krishna asking? Krishna has everything in the universe. What is he asking? He is hungry for every individual's jivatma's loving a devotion. Right? What does that mean? That means giving of the heart, giving of the soul, on a deeper level too. So we'll read a little bit of how Krishna's beauty has attracted Lord Brahma here in the third canto, chapter 8, when Lord Brahma How long did he meditate? How long did he meditate on the lotus flower? Long time? Yeah. 1,000 celestial years. How long is that? In our years. Okay, well, after meditating for such a long time, first he heard the voice of God. And it's said that the voice of God, actually he was enlightened from within, from Krishna's flute, right? Tene Brahma Hridaya. Can you chant that shloka slowly?
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadhyasya Yatonvayat Itarataschatesh Vigyanswarat.
Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavaye Mohi Tiyat Surayah Tejo Varimritam Yata Vinivayo Yatta Tushargam Nisha Damna Swena Sada Nirastakvakam Satyam Prayam Param Dhimahi.
Hari Om Tat Sat. So then Krishna appeared to him also. So we'll read that section here. Manifestation of Brahma from Vishnu, Canto 3, Chapter 8. We'll just read a few verses and a purport. So, Brahma could see that on the water there was a gigantic lotus-like white bedstead, the body of Sheshanag on which the personality of Godhead was lying alone. The whole atmosphere was illuminated by the rays of the jewels bedecking the hood of Sheshanag, and that illumination dissipated all the darkness of those regions. The luster of the transcendental body of the Lord mocked the beauty of the coral mountain. The coral mountain is very beautifully dressed by the evening sky, but the yellow dress of the Lord mocked its beauty. There is gold on the summit of the mountain, but the Lord's helmet, bedecked with jewels, mocked it. The mountains, waterfalls, herbs, etc., with a panorama of flowers, seem like garlands, but the Lord's gigantic body and his hands and legs, decorated with jewels, pearls, tulsi leaves, and flower garlands, mock the scene on the mountain. His transcendental body, unlimited in length and breadth, occupied the three planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower. His body was self-illuminated by unparalleled dress and variegatedness and was properly ornamented. The Lord showed his lotus feet by raising them. Who would like to see the Lord's lotus feet? Who would like to massage the Lord's lotus feet? I got too intimate for some people. His lotus feet are sources of all awards achieved by devotional service, free from material contamination. Such awards are for those who worship him in pure devotion. The splendor of the transcendental rays from his moon-like toenails and fingernails appeared like the petals of a flower. Like, look at the comparison. Our fingernails, I just clipped mine the other day, and I was like, it fell into the toilet. Oh, sorry, for the graphic difference, but it's the reality. And there was like, dark dirt underneath it. I was like, oh, that's disgusting. Here we're talking about the splendor of the Lord's. Everything is attractive and unlimitedly transcendentally beautiful. He also acknowledged the service of the devotees and vanquished their distress by his beautiful smile. Let's all look at Kalachandji. Lotus feet first. Up, up. The reflection of his face, decorated with earrings, was so pleasing because it dazzled with the rays from his lips and the beauty of his nose and eyebrows. Purport. Devotional service to the Lord is very much obliging to him. Right, in the Nectar of Devotion, it says that if somebody does, well, there's the different qualities of Krishna. One is grateful. That if one, do you remember reading that? You love that chapter also, right? And in each quality, the Acharya gives an example. Do you remember by chance? I can't remember myself. Okay, I'll finish this purport and then we can just think about that or have homework for it. Devotional service to the Lord is very much obliging to Him. There are many transcendentalists in different fields of spiritual activities, but devotional service to the Lord is unique. Devotees do not ask anything from the Lord in exchange for their service. Even the most desirable liberation is refused by devotees, although offered by the Lord. Thus the Lord becomes a kind of debtor to the devotees, and He can only try to repay the devotee's service with His ever-enchanting smile. Just like Prabhupada's devotees, you hear in memories, they say, we just wanted to make Prabhupada smile. Right? As Prabhupada has given us so much. Just like one time, I went into the room where Radhanath Swami, my Guru Maharaj, was, and I was just about to, I wanted to say, I ran there, I wanted to say, how may I serve you? But he said it first. So he goes, yes, how may I serve you? And I was just thinking, this person is giving me Krishna, is reawakening by his enthusiasm and sincerity my attraction to engage in devotional service. And he outdid me, like in sincerity. I was just like, I wanted to say, Maharaj, I wanted to say that first. But then I realized the Guru, one who's given you Krishna, what can you give? There's like they say, you can never repay the debt to the spiritual master. But you can try by giving to others what he has given to you. And the Guru gives you Krishna. Guru Krishna prasade bhai bhakti lata bij. So we'll finish the purport. Thus the Lord became a kind of debtor to the devotees, and He can only try to repay the devotees' service with His ever-enchanting smile. The devotees are ever satisfied by the smiling face of the Lord, and they become enlivened. And by seeing the devotee so enlivened, the Lord Himself is further satisfied. So there is continuous transcendental competition between the Lord and His devotees by such reciprocation of service and acknowledgement. So Prabhu asks, what's my favorite purport? If you read any purport, you can spend your whole life. We could everybody could give class on this verse for the rest of our lives. And ever increasing inspiration will come, right? But Prabhupada's given us, and I asked him, well, how many purports are there? And there's thousands, right? So many angles of how to bring us back to our original nature, which is totally infatuated, totally in love with every aspect of Krishna. Just like what came to mind when I was thinking the Mohini Murti form was so alluring because that's what Krishna does. Krishna means to pull, right? To attract, like a tractor, it pulls. And what's Maya doing? Pushing. The three modes of material nature are pushing us towards Krishna, and Krishna's beauty and Krishna's sweetness and Krishna's devotees are pulling us, Krishna's attraction. So it's just like something came to mind, but I forgot what it was already. Something about Lord Chaitanya being attracted to Krishna, but I forgot what I was going to go from there. But okay, just a little bit more from here, and then we'll open it up for reflections or comments or questions. Oh yeah, you got the phone? The microphone? We're going to hear about Krishna's gratefulness. Go ahead.
3 paragraphs.
Yeah, go for it.
Any person who is conscious of his friend's beneficent activities and never forgets his service is called grateful. In the Mahabharata, Krishna says, when I was carried away from Draupadi, she cried with the words, "Hey Govinda, this call for me has put me in her debt, and that indebtedness is gradually increasing in my heart." This statement by Krishna gives evidence of how one can please the Supreme Lord simply by addressing him, "Hey Krishna, hey Govinda."
Hey Krishna, hey Govinda.
The Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is also simply an address to the Lord and His energy. So to anyone who is constantly engaged in addressing the Lord and His energy, we can imagine how much the Supreme Lord is obliged. It is impossible for the Lord to ever forget such a devotee. It is clearly stated in this verse that anyone who addresses the Lord immediately attracts the attention of the Lord, who always remains obliged to him. Another instance of Krishna's feeling of obligation is stated in connection with his dealings with Jambavan. When the Lord was present as Lord Ramachandra, Jambavan, the great king of the monkeys, rendered very faithful service to him. When the Lord again appeared as Lord Krishna, he married Jambavan's daughter and paid him all the respect that is usually given to superiors. Any honest person is obliged to his friend if some service has been rendered unto him. Since Krishna is the supreme honest personality, how can he forget an obligation to his servitor?
So that's what hearing and chanting means. It means to come together and inspire each other. Just like I heard that when the cowherd boys were running, playing in the forest with Krishna, they had a game. I'll be the first one to touch Krishna, right? And what were the mood? I heard from my guru, he said that the cowherd boys are running as fast as they can to inspire others to run faster so that they can touch Krishna first. That was their mood. They just like, we know, that's the selfless, loving spirit of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada there's a verse about Lord Chaitanya running after the conditioned souls, right? Running after them to remind them, Jeev Jaga, wake up. We're suffering in the repetition of birth and death, trying to enjoy separately from Krishna. But we have real beauty. The soul can't live without happiness, Prabhupada says, right? And what is that? That we're trying for it at every moment. Anandamoy Vyasat, we're all pleasure-seeking entities. But because to different degrees we've turned away, now we're like ISKCON is like the reformatory, like a hospital. We all have to recognize the disease first of all, and recognize how powerful it's empowered by Krishna's plan. That unless there's a certain or an intense level of sincerity to not be attracted to the external, then we won't be given the mercy to be attracted to the Krishna's form, to Krishna's name, to Krishna's service. So it takes just a little bit of sincerity, and then Krishna's magic will do the rest. Put ourselves, just like there's a verse or a saying by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when all attempts at devotional service seem to fail, just go and sit with the Vaishnava. You just sit down. Just like, like if a kid is bad, sometimes a parent may discipline them, they're doing wild things, just sit down. And if you we realize we may be doing so many different attempts to get out of Maya, to get purified. And we may sometimes think, I've been doing this for this many years, I'm still covered over by Maya. Then just sit down with an advanced soul, sit with the Vaishnava, and what will happen? You'll hear some Krishna Katha, you'll get some inspiration, you'll chant with them, they'll engage you in service. So we'll just read a little bit from Chaitanya Charitamrita, the opulence and sweetness of Lord Krishna. This is Madhya Lila, chapter 21. I'll just read like 6 verses. To exhibit the strength of his own spiritual potency, Lord Krishna manifested a form just suitable for his pastimes in the material world. His form was wonderful even for him, right? And was the supreme abode of the wealth of good fortune. Its limbs were so beautiful that they increased the beauty of the ornaments worn on different parts of his body. Bhushana Bhushanangam. Lord Krishna has many pastimes, of which his pastimes as a human being are the best. Isn't that nice? Some people think that we're anthropomorphic? Something, yeah. It's like don't have to learn how to say it because it doesn't matter. But that because we're humans, we project that thing on Krishna. But in the Bible it says that we're made in the image of God. It's the exact opposite. And here in Shastra, the words itself, that the human form is the best. His form as a human being is the supreme transcendental form. In this form, he is a cowherd boy. He carries a flute in his hand, and his youth is new. He is also an expert dancer, and this is just suitable for his pastimes as a human being. My dear Sanatan, the sweet, attractive, transcendental form of Krishna is so nice. Just try to understand it. Right? Hey, Lord Chaitanya is asking Sanatan, just try to understand it. Though he's also asking all of us, just try to be attracted. Just try. And Krishna will give himself, give attraction, give service. Even a fractional understanding of Krishna's beauty can merge all three worlds in the ocean of love. He attracts all living entities within the three worlds. The transcendental form of Krishna is shown to the world by Lord Krishna's internal spiritual energy, which is a transformation of pure goodness. This jewel-like form is the most confidential treasure of the devotees. This form is manifested from Krishna's eternal pastimes. The wonderful form of Krishna in his personal feature is so great that it attracts even Krishna to taste his own association. Indeed, Krishna became very eager to taste it. Total beauty, knowledge, wealth, strength, fame, and renunciation are the six opulences of Krishna. He is eternally situated in his opulences. Ornaments caress that body, but the transcendental body of Krishna is so beautiful that it beautifies the ornaments he wears. Therefore, Krishna's body is said to be the ornament of ornaments. Enchanting the wonderful beauty of Krishna is his three-curved style of standing. Shamam Tribanga Lalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Lord Brahma, he composed this prayer after seeing Krishna's beauty and being enlightened by Krishna from within, right? Above all these beautiful features, Krishna's eyes dance and move obliquely, acting like arrows to pierce the minds of Srimati Radharani and the gopis. When the arrow succeeds in hitting its target, their minds become agitated. So this is life. To pray for Krishna's causeless mercy, to engage our hearts and souls in trying to please Prabhupada. And just like we were saying, how do we get Krishna? By trying to repay the gift that Prabhupada has given us, to try to give Krishna to others. And the best way is to, just like one time Prabhupada was asked, how do we please you? In a room full of book distributors from the Radha Damodar party. And I was asked by Naranchara Prabhu. And they all thought, when you distribute books. And he said, Prabhupada said, when you love Krishna. So this is, every activity is meant to reawaken our dormant devotional attraction. And we should all run towards Krishna as fast as we can with the inspiration to help others, devotees, non-practicing devotees, you know what I mean. Everybody's a devotee in different degrees of forgetfulness. So thank you for your attention. Any reflections? I give him the mic.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for such a nice class on the beauty of Krishna. Very nice verses and sections that you picked out. I had a question kind of related to the purport of what Srila Prabhupada was saying about the goddess of fortune. I've always been a little, I haven't understood exactly what is meant by goddess of fortune. I often see, I hear the goddess of fortune is an expansion of Srimati Radharani. And then I see in many sections it says, Krishna can't be understood by Brahma, Shiva, or even the goddess of fortune. Even the goddess of fortune can't approach, or certain things like this. And then also we understand Krishna is Madan Mohan, and then Srimati Radharani is Madan Mohan Mohini. So Yeah. Also, I understand there's like many goddesses of fortune, but there's like one.
Sahasra. Lakshmi. How's it go?
And yeah, so
Lakshmi Sahasra
maybe
Satasambhrama Sevyamana.
could you enlighten me on
No, I can't.
this a little bit?
No.
ISKCON.
Well, like Krishna specifically, we're being told about Krishna by Prabhupada, but it's not like we have, like myself or most of us have any. If Lord Brahma doesn't know Krishna, if Lakshmi doesn't know Krishna, that means all these revealed realities by the pure devotees are giving us insight into what and who Krishna is. But Lakshmi, she's the eternal consort of Lord Narayan. So although even the forms of Narayan are attracted to Krishna, right? So the Lakshmi Devis, they may be attracted, but they can't know Krishna intimately because they have their swarup, or you don't say that about Lakshmi Devi necessarily, but so they have their eternal service in a form of Krishna that they're eternally connected in as part, not part and parcel. I don't know the exact words of the Shakti Tattva and all that stuff, but the idea is that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead and the supreme attractive form, just like there's four aspects of that Krishna has that Vishnu doesn't have. Madhurya Leela. How did they go? Madhurya Leela, Bhakti Madhurya, Venu Madhurya, and Rup Madhurya. His form, just like we were talking about. The Krishna's beauty attracts even Lord Narayan. Krishna's beauty attracts Lakshmi. She may want to go to serve in that form and that Krishna, but ultimately she can't give up her position as the wife of Narayan, her opulence, the goddess of fortune, because that's who she is. But there's also so that's like an addition, extra spiritual. Just like you see in Gaur Leela, there's different associates of Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya would ask, chant Hare Krishna, worship Radha Krishna, and they would try, right? And then they would come back and say, this is God. And they know that Lord Chaitanya is God and Radha Krishna combined. They have these things. They don't want to do something different than the Lord is requesting them. But I can't give up my love for Ram. Because like Murari Gupta is Hanuman. So we may have this opportunity. You can be attracted to many forms of the Lord, but we do have we have our Ishtadev, Radha Kalachandji. We have our certain eternal, overwhelmingly loving relationship with one form, and then we may be attracted to other forms as well. We can be in Krishna Leela and Gaur Leela, and maybe others simultaneously. I don't want to get too esoteric, but that was a kind of an esoteric question. But main thing is, at our stage, we try to become disentangled and become more attracted by engaging ourselves. Like what a Vaisheshika Prabhu likes to say, encourage the heck out of people, right? Encourage the heck out of people. So the same way, like give the heck out of ourselves, give our life and soul to service. And then we'll be so absorbed. Just like in one of the purports Prabhupada said was the best way to control the mind? By constantly thinking of how to do welfare for others, how to do good for others, which means book distribution, which means prasad distribution, which means Harinam, which means organizing opportunities for all those three things at one time. Temples, society, whatever it is, chanting, getting Krishna ourselves through our own sadhana. Was that okay? Thank you. Other quick ones?
One time when I was a brahmachari, Nagaraj pointed out to me that a statement in the Bhagavatam that said the whole world, material world, is moving by womanly attraction. And we noticed that, like with these demons and men in general, they're very attracted to the form of women. And women are very attracted to themselves. They spend a lot of money on cosmetics and go to the beauty parlors and clothes and ornaments. And it's stated in the 6th canto that women are very attractive to men, especially when they're teenagers, 16 or 17 years old, young ladies. And then this statement in the 3rd canto says that nobody is free from attraction to the form of Maya, or Maya in the form of woman, except for somebody named Narayana Rishi, who we're not. So we're faced with this power of Maya Devi Shakti, and we're supposed to be attracted to Krishna. And we see the deities and we hear these descriptions of how beautiful Krishna is. But what goes naturally or easily into the mind is attraction to young ladies. That we don't have to push for that. That just comes, when we see somebody that's attractive. So since we're not Narayana Rishi, how do we become free from that attraction and put Krishna there where, this, like, the attraction to Krishna is supposed to be there, but the attraction to Maya in the form of woman is what actually goes there without, almost like by force,
Sarvoparivanirmuktam tatpadatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktaduchate. That this process of devotional service, beginning with the tongue, you have to, just like when somebody's, like I was using the example of kids, when I say just sit down, like an immature parent or somebody who may not be so, proactive, they just tell the child, go in the corner. That was a common punishment. You're doing nonsense, face the corner and stay there, just do nothing. But a more proactive approach is to engage the child in something that they like and that has positive effect. So devotional service, we have to be fully engaged, otherwise all of our senses fully absorbed. Otherwise Maya will, it's empowered by Krishna. It's Krishna's energy. Daiviyesha gunamayi mama maya durataya. That this divine energy of mind consisting of the 3 modes of material nature, Krishna is telling us, is very difficult to overcome. But those who surrender unto me, they can easily cross beyond it. Well, we don't, to different degrees, we're not surrendered. Just like that example of a king holding onto a pillar and screaming, "Let me go! Let me go!" And then his attendants, his associates are looking at him like, "You're the one holding on to the pillar." Like from the outside source, it's easier to tell. So association, having people in our life that we take correction from, that tell us, "Hey, you could fine-tune your sadhana over here. You can do a little more book distribution." So I like these. I pray that these Prabhus come more often, come with more devotees, and they put the fire under our tail. Like, hey, you should come out on books. Hey, you shouldn't eat karmi grains. Hey, they give us whatever their and it's from their sincerity and wanting to help us. So there's the principle of devotional service is to associate with more advanced devotees. So recognizing the disease is 90% of the cure, they say, right? So you spoke the question. So individually we all have to see, okay, I'm in Maya, in this way and that way. And recognizing the disease, then taking the medicine. The medicine is to do the formula Prabhupada gave us. And then as Krishna says, it's easily performed. Yeah, it's a fortress. Durga means a jail. That means a prison. Hard to get. Durga, I think, literally means hard to move or something. All right, hard to get past. So Krishna's empowered it. You don't let anybody come into the loving association, because if you get past lust, if we get past lust, then we got love, because it's already there. You were saying it's hard. It seems harder to get attracted to Krishna just because of the temporary circumstances. But actually we worked at it for 8,400,000 species of life, how to become covered over, and then who knows how many different times we kept going through the cycle and being distracted, not attracted to Krishna. So yeah, it may be hard from our point, but it's actually the easiest, most natural thing to be in love with Krishna eternally on the other side. Babaji?
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, earlier, a little earlier, you were towards the initial portion of your discourse, you were talking about the avarna and the vikshepa, the coverings. I want to take a minute to expand on that. So, and that's also associated with the kind of question that the Prabhu just laid out. So, one is the covering, which, and as Lord Krishna himself, Sri Krishna himself says, the Shakti, the Maya Shakti is so strong that unless you surrender to me, it's going to impact you. So the avarna itself is the covering, the veil. It can be imagined as the veil covering, and the vikshepa is that once the covering is done, it's going to show you the things that you would normally not see otherwise if you are fully engaged in the devotional service. So that's where the mixture of avarna and vikshepa can be seen in example being a lunar eclipse. When the moon comes between the sun and the earth, so the darkness comes because the moon covers our view of the sun. That can be viewed as the avarna, and the vikshepa is something you're looking at the darkness all around. But if one as a devotee comes to know that, hey, it's a temporary phenomenon and this darkness is going to go away as soon as the moon goes out of its path between the sun and the earth, and the sun is really behind, and this darkness is only temporary. That knowledge is very important, and to stay, I mean, I just gave that example just to understand pictorially. So, and then in continuing with his question, Prabhu's question, that reminds me of the Maharaj Ambarish's efforts, where in one portion it says he engaged all his sense organs towards the loving devotion service of the Lord. Every sense organ, he, like whether it is going to the temple, whether it is doing the prayers, or chanting the mantras, or chanting the shlokas, etc., engaging the sense organs and be fully 24/7. Of course, we all have to take rest also. But besides that, while you are in this waking state, engaging all the sense organs totally in the devotion, loving devotion service of the Lord. So, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, real quick. We'll end on a sweet note with Rishi Kumar. Say whatever you want.
My Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Danavir Goswami, just on the line.
Haribol! Danavir Goswami Maharaj ki!
On the line of
Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki!
Jai.
Go, Premanandi. Go ahead.
On the line of this topic, he was saying that in LA, where he had joined, the devotees, they used to go for Sankirtan in whatever form that was at that time. I think it was like Harinam and then Back to Godhead magazines, maybe. And they'd be at Hollywood Boulevard and places like this where, it's very popping, lots of tourists, exciting, up until like after midnight, and then get back to the temple. And at this time, there wasn't a morning program yet. And Srila Prabhupada saw that it wasn't so good for the devotees' spiritual strength. So then after that, he instituted the morning program and said that they all have to get up at this time. They all have to come like this. So then they stopped doing the late night Sankirtan and stopped it at a certain time. So that way they could keep, their mind and body and everything in an okay condition.
Well, there you have it, folks. To
And-
be attracted and reattracted and reawaken we have to wake up and come to the Mangal Artik.
And then just
Prabhupada said.
and there's just one other thing where he would instruct the devotees there in LA in the Bhakti program to strengthen their weaknesses. So if somebody had a certain problem with something, you could say, like, if somebody had some problem with intoxication, then it wouldn't be good if they went into like the weed shop to try to distribute books or something. But they could show, they could protect themselves by going in a more favorable place. So those are just some things that
Jai, thank you. So yeah, let's all encourage each other to revive our attraction more and more. It just takes us, like the little Lord Brahman says, what does it take? Step by step, little increments. Lord Brahma, he's saying that. And he's already revived his. Thank you. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Go Premanandi.